How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on NQ. I took a short when we broke pre-market low, caught a quick win, then price reversed and stopped out my runner. So we didn't get the continuation that we were looking for, but I'll go over why I took the trade that I did, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the day. So coming in the day, we'll take a look at both ES and NQ. I only traded NQ, but we'll look at both. Both of them were kind of at or above the previous day high. So ES was just above, and NQ is kind of just below on the open. Both of them had formed a pretty tight pre-market range, and from what I was watching, I just wanted to see a break out of the range to either direction and some sort of continuation. And basically what I'm constituting as a breaking out of that range is a close on a higher time frame, such as the 5 or the 15 minute. That's higher for me. I'm kind of more scalping. So I'm looking at 15 and 5 minute for a break and close outside that range. And then I'm looking for some sort of pullback to an EMA for an entry to give me proper risk reward and something to base my trade off of. So we open, NQ looks really strong, pushes all the way up towards that pre-market high, closes right at it, and then rejects off this zone that I had drawn here from about 2350 to 2355. Rejects all the way back down to pre-market low. From there we started to get some chop, and that was true on both NQ and ES. So if I pull up both of them, so here is ES. ES went up, tested that pre-market high, and then rejected down that pre-market low. NQ did the same thing, went up to that pre-market high, rejected down pre-market low. What NQ got that ES didn't quite give is a nice clean break on higher volume and close below on the 5 minute as well as on the 15 minute. So we got that break here on the 15 minute and close below on the 15 minute. And then we came up, and I will pull up the 2 minute chart because this is how I kind of get my entries and my stop loss. So once we broke on all these time frames, the 15 minute, the 5 minute, and the 2 minute, then I watched as we kind of flagged up and we retested both that pre-market low and that 13 EMA, at which point I got in right in here. So I got in right as we were rejecting off that EMA. Stop loss was above this candle high, so we got really close to my stop loss, but not quite. So it was 74, I believe, was the number, 474. And then take profit was down at low a day from my first trim. There's about 30 points, and then my next trim was, if we pull up 15 minute, my next trim was down here at 23,400. So just another like 20 points or so to the downside. We hit that first take profit. That was just a little over $300 on those 5 contracts. And then my runner, like I said, stopped out for break even. As you see, we didn't quite get continuation. We pulled up and then reversed, and actually we're bullish for the rest of the day. So there were some opportunities later in the day as well, especially once we broke up above this pre-market high and then kind of pulled back. Once we broke above this zone, really, we see us test it once, twice, 3 times. Then we break above, close, and get a nice move all the way up to this next zone. So it was all right. It was a decent little win for us today. Yesterday, I took a trade on these accounts, and it was break even. I guess a quick little update now that I went over my trade. I had 2 PAs that I was trading. I had brought them all the way up to 2,300 in profit, and then I brought them all the way back down to like 50,000 the starting balance. And the thing with Apex is that your drawdown is based upon your maximum amount that your account, the maximum value that your account ever got, whether that was open or closed profit. And so what happened is I got to a place where I had very limited drawdown, and I took 2 losses in one day. This was on Monday or Tuesday. I took 2 losses, and that drawdown was hit, and I lost those accounts, unfortunately. I can avoid that by just not going on tilt on red days. So that was what happened, is I had run those accounts up to 2,300 in profit. I was trying to get to my payout. I would have a red day, and then I'd go on tilt and make it worse. So instead of losing $200, $180, whatever it may be, I would lose again. Then it would be, I was down 500, and then I'd lose again. I'd be down 700, and I'd lose again. I'd be down at 900. And basically it just turned into what a day could have been a small red day. I would not be able to accept a loss and turn that into a bigger red day, which was pretty detrimental to my balance. And that's how I went all the way up $2,300, all the way back down $2,300. And by doing that swing, it really messed with my drawdown. So once I was trying to kind of build back up, I was having to trade a smaller size, et cetera, et cetera. And it just got to the point where my drawdown was so minimal that if I just took like 2 average losses in a row, it was hit. And that's what happened. Fortunately, I did pick up 2 evals at the time, and I was able to take these and pass these in a single day and take advantage of the huge discount and activation fees that Apex is giving. So I was able to activate these 2 accounts yesterday or the day before, Tuesday, so 2 days ago. Activate these, traded them for the first time yesterday and had a break-even day, and then today we got our first real trade, which was a nice win. So we are going to be more cognizant, and the biggest thing is to be patient and take trades that I should. And I think that was part of the reason why I was going on tilt, is I was taking trades that I shouldn't be taking. I was entering trades that weren't part of my system, and then when I would lose, it would make me mad because I realized I shouldn't have taken that loss in the first place. And then I would try to take a trade more according to my system, and if that didn't work out, because no system's 100% accurate, right? That wouldn't work out, and then I would get frustrated from losing trading myself, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So, and I'll do it right now on stream. I'll do it right now on stream. We're gonna set a maximum loss limit of $500. There's no way I should lose $500 in a day trading the size and the risk that I'm trading. I'm only risking a few points on ES, or about 10 to 15 points on NQ. No more than 20 on NQ. I think today mine was just under like 19 or something. But definitely no more than 20 on NQ. And or if I do, I guess I'd have to size down pretty considerably. And yeah, no more than like 2 or 3 points on ES. So at my size, with that risk tolerance, I should be able to take 2 trades a day, or excuse me, I should be able to withstand 2 losses and still not hit that $500 limit. So I feel pretty confident putting that there, and hopefully that's a safeguard for bad red days. Red days are going to happen, but as long as they're manageable. As long as the equity curve is up and to the right, it doesn't really matter if we have a red day in there once in a while, because they are going to happen. So long-winded, but basically that's just a little update of where I am. My trading suffers not from my system, but from my discipline, or lack of discipline, or my emotional response to losses. That's really what it is. I'm not overly greedy. Today I had a winning trade and I walked away just fine. So it's not necessarily greed that's getting me, it's more so my inability to accept a small loss. And so that's at least comforting, knowing that I've identified that problem and that I can fix it, because once you identify the problem, and it's a problem that is totally me, so I have the power to correct that. And that's something I'm really working on, and I really want to be cognizant of that on these accounts. I did really well in my previous PAs, but like I said, I got close to payout, and then I just started to lose discipline, because I just wanted, my mind was on the money instead of the process. So results, no, sorry, we're looking at the process to get the result, but not the result itself. We know the result, but we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to focus on the process to get there. And the process to getting there is just slow and steady. Take the opportunity when it presents itself, be confident, and accept that your system won't always be 100%. If I can do that, I know for a fact that I can get there, because I've done it so many times, and I just blow it at the end by being an idiot and wanting things faster than they should maybe come or originally. So that's the biggest thing, and something that we're actively working on. So that's just a little update on where we're at there. Other than that, we'll have a gap up tomorrow. As well, it appears we will. We closed pretty high, and if we continue, we'll have a gap up. But there's a good chance we pull back as well. Who knows? We'll see tomorrow. Try to finish out the week strong. But all I'm concerned about is just sticking to the process. The process, not the result. Of course, we know the result that we're identifying. We know the result that we want. The thing that's important is the process that gets us there. Because if we don't follow that process, we obviously will never achieve that result. This is the hardest thing I think I've ever done, and it has the potential to be most rewarding. And I'm not ready to give up on it. I know I've seen for myself that I can do it. I have the potential, and I just need to really work on the last thing, which is like my psychology, and I think we can wrap up a pretty good product if we do that. That's all. I haven't been making these videos because I wasn't in the right headspace. Like I said, I lost those PA accounts. I wasn't overly bummed about it because I knew with my drawdown that it was kind of inevitable. But yeah, it's just more frustration knowing that it's self-inflicted wounds. Other than that, same old, baby. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and take it easy.